I'm late. I'm late. Oh no. Hey. How does this thing work? I don't remember anymore. Hello. Hello, everybody. Is it this one? It's this one. And the camera is all wrong. Just a moment. I think that's better. Dark Eternal Witness. That's not what we're doing today. How you doing, everybody? How you doing? How's your week been? Have you survived? Let's do this. Exactly. Where's the thing? I'm just gonna edit this live. Doing it live, everyone. What are we doing? What are we doing today? I don't know. I'm rebuilding a template. Template rebuilding. And who knows? Who knows? And that's too much. It's too much text. How you doing, everyone? Buenas noches, old negro. How you doing, everybody? Is that better? That's a little bit better. You made a lot of progress on your next animation. Very good. I'm kind of excited to... Can you give us any hint about what it is? Or is it super secret? Way too busy, yeah? That's why you're enjoying a bit of late night oblivion, Yannick? It's no good. I wanted my week to be really busy. I tried to do some work, and I didn't make a lot of progress this week. I mean, I did kind of deliver, you know, a game, half a game score. So that's something, I guess. So that's fine. But I didn't really do writing work. It was kind of just like a bit of mastering and whatever, and a bit of admin, really. Animation versus not this week. No, I got a little bit of a break before the next one comes. So I'm trying to get a bit of work done on other things. Trying to get games finished. I've got a big album project I'm working on, and I've got another game coming up. Well, I'm supposed to be starting that this week. Well, it's more Falling Frontier. It's more scheduled to write some more stuff for that. But I'm sort of, I don't know, all over the place at the moment. Lots of things to do, and I just can't sit my butt down to do it. You know what I mean? And I've got library stuff to do. Always library stuff to do. Which is fun, but you know, gets everything competes for my attention. There's only one of me. Only one of me. You like Permafrost? That's nice. I like that track too. It's a good track. Everyone has their favorites. I'm surprised how diverse everyone's tastes are. It's really good. I'm so pleased. It's part 3 of your stick figure series. Episode 2 came out last year. Very cool. Okay. Let's go. Miller? Yes? That's me. That is me. Look at me, guys. I drink protein smoothies now. This is my life. This is what my life has become now. I never thought I'd be the guy who would drink protein smoothies. But, this is me. This is me. It's actually pretty good. Chocolate. It's nice. It's very cool. I don't know how cool it is. So I'm on this like big strength training exercise kind of thing with my personal trainer. It's like an exercise physiologist, because I got diagnosed nearly a couple of years back with a muscle disorder. So I was kind of wasting away, and so I'm getting help to combat this by doing a lot of strength training, and it's been a lot. I do 4 days at the gym now, doing upper and lower body strength junk, and I've got to eat like my body weight in food every day, because that seems to be how much I need to eat to actually put on muscle. Enough protein and enough calories to actually do something to my body. So it's been a challenge for a 42-year-old man who's never been to the gym. It's been a challenge, but I've been doing this for about 6 months now? No. Longer than that now. I don't remember when I started. Over the 6 months, maybe 9 months now. And I'm barely making progress. I feel like now I'm finally getting towards goals now, but yeah. Oh god. I'm not gonna pick that up. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, it's good to be like on top of it. You know what I mean? Feels like I'm not I don't know. I was heading towards disability, definitely. Like it was hard for me to walk around. It was hard for me to do any sort of exercise or like walking at all for any period of time before I would cramp up or, you know, just lose energy. And I was just not looking good. Wasn't looking good. Love that ringtone. Some eagle-eyed ear listeners might actually know that track. It's actually from the library. I think it's Twilight Echo. I thought it would be fun to put one of my what do you call it? Synthwave? One of my synthwave tracks as a ringtone. Oh, I haven't watched it yet, Jay. Ooh, that's interesting. What does it mean, Jay? What does it mean? King Orange made an appearance. Brando, I have to translate. I'm sorry. Oh, no, thank you. Did it for me. Thank you. Greetings from the Dominican Republic. You're one of my favorite composers. Congratulate you on your great skill and professionalism in creating these great compositions. Thank you, Brando. Appreciate it so much. That's really kind of you. I'm glad you like them. I'm glad you like my nonsense. Stockfish, how you doing? I've got to read them forever. It's been a while. Yeah. Yes. They have changed. Yes, you've noticed. Well done. So I'm back in Australia now. Living in Brisbane. Living the life in Brisbane, which is really nice. It's good to be back. And it's becoming the best time of year. It's actually getting into winter, which means you can just, you know, you can walk outside and not feel like you're dying from heat and humidity. That's all the difference is. Hi, and what? What is my guilty pleasure? Something I wouldn't admit publicly. Why would I admit it now? This is public. It's just between you and me, right? What's my guilty pleasure? I don't know. I like trashy rom-coms. That's a bit of a guilty pleasure, I think. My wife really rolls her eyes. She really does. But I do like one of my favorite films of all time is Notting Hill. I just dropped something. Oh, it's fine. I don't need to find it right now. So yeah, I like rom-coms. I watch Love Actually every year at Christmas time, like everyone else does, right? And The Holiday. And The Holiday is great because Jack Black plays a composer. It's actually like a real a guilty pleasure in music. Oh no, I've outed myself. Oh my gosh, didn't mean to do that. Anyway, Holiday's great. My guilty pleasure in music. I mean, I kind of grew up on music by the Beach Boys. And I kind of unironically love listening to the Beach Boys. I mean, a lot of people love the Beach Boys, but I think they gave me my love of harmony, you know, like harmonizing. And so I like listening to them. I mean, I kind of like just cheesy pop music from the 2000s, you know. Can't go past a bit of Britney, a bit of Christina. Why does my sub count not have anything in it? I might just get rid of it. Makes me look like I'm really struggling here. Let's just go. I don't know how things work anymore. No more toxic people, only toxic by Britney Spears, exactly. You get me. When I was doing my music degree, I don't know, there was some assignment where we had to record something. I don't know what we're doing, but I had to work with a vocalist to record a cover of a track. I think that was the idea, and so we decided to do "Toxic" by Britney Spears in like an operatic version of it. Excuse me. It didn't really end well. I don't think so. It was really kind of an awful project. I don't know what happened to that. Went off the rails. Really did. But I think I passed. I think we got through it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know why I did this. So when I did my music degree, I decided that I wanted to do more production rather than composition. You know, that my focus would be on more like producing music. I don't know why I did that, because I always wanted to write. Like I was totally in the composition, but it's like when you're like a media composer, you're kind of stuck in between. You know, like you kind of do both. And I felt that like I should probably learn more about production, because that's my weakest sort of part of my work. But it was like, I don't know why I did that. Like it was just ended up being really just not a great outcome for me. Like I think I barely scraped through in the end because I was just really bad. I'm really bad production producer. Even though like I produce all my own music, I just not very, I don't know. When it comes to like the actual nuts and bolts of, say, taking someone else's work and recording it, and or even taking my own work and recording instruments doing their thing, like the actual technical side of that stuff, I'm horrible at it. I really would just work with someone else, I think, if I needed to do that. Why would I do it myself? Anyway. So today, guys, we're going to work on a template. So if you guys don't know what a template is, a template is a sort of a shortcut to having a bunch of instruments in your program, in your DAW, ready to go. So it's like a really quick way to get like a palette of instruments, strings and brass and percussion, all that sort of thing, all loaded up, all ready to go. You don't have to like sit there and load up things one at a time when you start a new project every time. It's a really just quick way to have a bunch of instruments ready. Today we're going to work on rebuilding. So it's not going to start from scratch, but we're going to sort of, rebuild a template. And this template's to do with my chamber music style of sound. So anyone's like you familiar with like tracks like Filaments and Horizons and Chasing Daylight and This Too Shall Pass, all those sort of style tracks with the piano and strings and whatnot. That's the library. This is the template that I would generally use to write those tracks. And I've got new libraries since we've built that, and there's actually a bunch of really old stuff in this current template that I'm using that just needs to be switched out and changed over. And so we'll do a bit of that today, and then try and add some new things to it, and then I guess try and write some music. Try and write something. You got a band recommendation? Please send it through. I haven't got. Where's my thing? Give it to me. By the way, I went for a run this morning, and I had put on the Spotify Discover playlist, the one that just is like kind of tailored for you when you're listening to things. I swear I listened to, I don't know how many tracks I would have listened to, but I swear about 50% of the tracks that I listened to were essentially just rip-offs of Time from Inception by Hans Zimmer. Like literally so many of them were just Time, the same chord progressions, the same development over time, the same piano. Like, folks, what's going on? Has my YouTube chat died? Maybe it has. Just a moment, folks. No, it doesn't, I think. It's fine. I think we're good. Indeed, Headley. Indeed. People googled epic chord progression and only time comes. I think it is. I think that's what it is. Man, it was really interesting to see. Bit depressing, to be honest. I think we should ban the chord progression now. Ooh, nice view of my protein. I think we need to ban the time chord progression. I think it's time. I think it's time we ban time. What's this say? How does it go? That's probably good for me. I don't really want to ever sound like I'm ripping off Hans again. Even though I do it all the time. Okay, can you guys hear anything? Yes, you can. Very good. Song which was actually kind of decent, entirely inspired by my score, The Box. Ooh, okay. Oh, I missed it, Jay. They're called The Midnight. The Midnight. Oh, this is on my list already. I think maybe you mentioned it last time. I'll check them out. I would like to write more synthwave. I think it was really fun. The few tracks that I've done were like really fun. Or maybe I'll make a synthwave album. Why not? Let's do it. Working on it now, so I'm getting a crazy dose of Scott Buckley right now. Oh my god. Alright, so first of all, we've got old versions of Contact. We need to get rid of them, because I feel like there's some funkiness going on with some of these like older versions of Contact in my templates. Really need to swap them out. Oh, we gotta change that. But I'll take you through the template as it is now. I'll give you an idea of why I have the things in there, why I choose the instruments I do. I need to find Vista. This also happens as well, so we need to change this. Reload Vista. I don't know why it keeps on trying to find it in the wrong spot. There we go. You've been working on a synthwave album? Nice. That's pretty cool. Even though I feel like the synthwave thing is kind of died, but it also doesn't. I feel like the interesting thing in music right now is that music genres don't really die anymore, do they? They just kind of niche. they just exist still. Everyone finds their little space to exist in. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, come on. Are we done? Nope. Performance sample stuff takes forever to load. I don't know why. So how's your week been? Tell me things. Wednesday night I went and saw Sigur Rós, which was amazing. Really, really, really good. They were very, very good. Very, very good. They were playing with the Brisbane Philharmonic Orchestra, and it was amazing. Like, just beautiful and sacred. It's kind of one of those, like, Sigur Rós is one of those bands where you kind of, I don't know, you get incredibly uplifted by it. It's very beautiful music. So it was very inspiring to watch that. Problem is, with all these bands, they come into Brisbane, All these like overseas acts that come in, they start at 8 o'clock in the evening. It's like by the end of it, I am ready for bed. Maybe through the because live the Sigur Rós one was like 2 halves, so it's like it had an interval, and like by the second half of the second part, I was just like falling asleep. Mostly because the music as well is very blissful. You know, like it's super chill. Hey, Zombly, thank you so much for the 100 R's. I don't know what the R's are, but thank you. Does anyone know what R's are? Can someone give me an idea of what currency R's is? ARS. Thank you so much. Thank you. Virtue, thank you. You're very welcome. Oh, why is this taking so long? There we go, we did it. Finally. Gosh, that took forever. Alright. So I want to reload the gentleman. Do I did anything to the gentleman? Doesn't look like it. Okay, and then a unicorder. Unicorder. Felt. I think we got a little preset, felt intimate. So noisy. Why is it so much noise? Turn the ambience off. Turn the mechanical stuff down. The pedals can go down. And then we'll see how that goes. 4, 1, 4, 2. Argentina. Okay. Thank you, Headley. Argentine peso. So bassy. Okay, so that's one thing done. And then the LCO strings needs to be re-swapped out. Sorry, I'm burping a lot. Ah, oh, thank you for the £2. I know that one. Thank you, Edley. Well, it's the same piano, Miller. Absolutely same pianos. Or pianos. Yeah, it's a combination. It's a combination. I want... So way to like save this multi so that I can just reload it in Contact 6. Save multi as, let's see if this works. We'll go here, here. We'll just save it here. LCO multi. Load. Eee, that's quicker. No farting about. None. We want this to be 4. 4, yeah. Everything's so loud. Oh, Zombly, thank you. Argentine bucks. Very cool. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you like the music, man. It always like blows my mind Everyone's so into it. It's really cool. I really appreciate you all. You know, big hugs. Big hugs from me. Oh yeah, shorts, okay. 4, 4, 4, change all these to this one, and then we'll go to the Tundra strings. So I go save multi-as, and then we go Tundra multi, and then we load. Did I delete? Yeah, I did. Delete contact. Would you ever consider taking requests from server audience members for possible new styles of music? Or even story beats to score to? I mean, story beats would be pretty fun, maybe. I don't know. I generally want the library to be what I feel like doing, you know? Mostly because it's kind of my little haven of music writing that isn't super dependent on anyone else telling me what I should do. Even though it is kind of like I want to write stuff that people want to use, but it's kind of my safe space, you know? So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. To think about it. What am I doing? I'm loading. No, this is contact 5. No, that's fine. I'm doing the right thing. You're doing fine, Scott. Yes. Yeah, the library is just one of the things that has really saved me. You know, I talked about this previously, but it's like this, you know, space of like the library. I can write whatever I want, and you can decide whether it's worth your time or not. And you know, the fact is, a lot of you do think it's worth your time, and that really makes me like super happy. But I think it's got to stay like that. Okay, so now these are all updated. So what I wanted to do is actually add some stuff. So I bought a library from Orchestral Tools a little while ago called the Pederis Vesks Strings, and it's really very nice. It's got some nice string sounds. It's very chill. I just want to add them. I want to add a few of these in here so that they're ready to go because I want to use them more. But I gotta try and figure out which ones I want to use because there's lots of them, and I've also got other libraries that are kind of doing similar things. But that said, these ones do them slightly different. So we're gonna play them again, play them around, audition them. So this is what I feel like template building is about. It's like finding sounds that you will use a lot or you want to use more, and then just adding them to this template file, and then they're ready to go. They're always there. You're always ready to go. So it's really good way to like start making sure that you use the things you buy. Yeah, the measured trill is really good. I agree, Yannick. Legato's not my taste. It's a little just vanilla, so we'll remove that. But the sustains are nice. Librarium, how you doing? Quick message to say huge thanks for the amazing work. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. Man, you've done this before. I don't want you spamming chat, alright? I understand what you're trying to do. But you can't do it. Otherwise, I'll time you out again. Alright? So just please chill. God damn it. Okay. How y'all doing? The whispered sustains are really nice, but they're also very, very quiet. You can barely hear them. So I think what I'm going to do, we might add 2 sign players. One for the normal sustains and stuff, and then one for the whispered things. And then we can go from there. So I might start with these ones. The soft sustains are nice too, I think. I like that they have these. Like there's like a varying sort of levels of quiet sustains, which is good. Alpa, I missed a question you said. So when you have which one do you start with first when composing? Bass or main melody? It's a good question. It depends on the track, Alpa. Sometimes, like I've got a really good hook in my head, and so the melody's kind of the thing that's triggering the idea. But sometimes I'm more about chords. That's probably more my thing, where I'm like, I will sit with a piano or something and try to sort of feel out where I want things to go using chord progressions and then figure out a melody after that. So that's probably my way of working. I'm a very improvisational kind of composer, so it's like I don't always have a good plan in my head, but I've got a feeling, like I want to express a certain feeling, I guess. And so I'm always trying to hit that feeling that is the thing. And usually the progressions are a good way of feeling that out. Not necessarily the melody also will help a lot, but not always, I think. Violins, 1, sustains. I'm going to add a lot of MIDI tracks. Control-Shift-T, huh? I always find the shortcuts in Cakewalk are a little weird, but I can't be bothered changing them. You know what I mean? Sustains, soft. What else do we want? Probably the tremolo is really nice in here too. Really good tremolos. So this template, usually I'm using strings as like soft, long-held sustains. So I would probably steer clear of things that are short unless I really want them. And if I do want them, I'll probably add them. As is. Why is this not adding? What's going on? There we go. I'm just doing it wrong. So also when you're building a template, thinking about what is actually the most useful things, because you also just want to load everything. Otherwise it's kind of pointless. You kind of get lost in the sea of instruments. So it's kind of good to have a more of a guided idea of what you want out of your template. You like I will love Walk with Ghosts too, actually. That reminds me, I wanted to work. Maybe I don't have it here today. I'll do. There was like a recording I did of rain a couple of months ago. I wanted to add it to this track today, but I was worried I didn't have this here today, my Zoom recorder. But we do, so I might be able to load it up. Do some editing of some rain sounds. How does that sound, guys? Does that sound crazy? Why do they bother sampling potato? I don't know. I don't remember what it's like. Potato? It's nice. It's kind of got a vibe to it. How's it different to Mikado though? It's a little bit more like a soft Mikado. There you go. It's not too bad. Have I ever written any choral music? Not really, Headley. Because I'm such a composer that works inside a DAW, so having good choral sounds is really important for me to find to write anything that's good choral music. That said, I do have I do use a lot of voice in my music, but I would actually like to write more choral music because it's so nice. The human voice is such a beautiful instrument, and there's some pretty stellar choirs even in here in Australia. That'd be really fun to try and write something for. This is one thing, is I would love to try and write more like performance music, like classical music, get it performed by actual ensembles. I just don't know how this whole industry works. Like I go see a lot of concerts, but I don't know how like you go about, hey, I'm a composer, I write music, can you play my music please? I don't know how this all works. Maybe it's just simple as that. I just send them an email going, hey, here's my stuff. I don't know how it works. I wanted to try these harmonics. Let's try this. Don't you get commissioned by someone, like people need stuff to play? That does happen a lot, I agree. So you might just have to know that you exist and someone actually commissions you. But they also just find like a lot of like programming is done by just finding music that exists and then getting the sheet music for it. That's how that's a lot of it is just like people just finding stuff. And then putting it into programs. And these programs are like, years ahead of time. So it's like, it's hard to, I don't know how this works, but having a lot of music, I don't need, the commission is really just like to support artists to help them create new music, but I'm happy to do it for free. I'm here doing it. I make enough money from other things, in my job. So I don't need them to give me money. I can just do it. So, I don't know. Thank you, Sean. I really love writing the music for that. It was really good to resurrect the App Star theme. And I'm glad you like the leitmotif for the animation vs math. Sneaky little reference there, hey? I think the harmonics are nice. I'll leave them in. Violins, 1 harmonics. Lots of orchestras and chambers and smaller section players just play a lot of film and game music now, which is interesting. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge industry now. Like, seems to be like booming. Maybe one day they'll play my music for Menace and Falling Frontier. Wouldn't that be cool? I doubt it'll hit. It'll break through into the zeitgeist though. How different are the violins 2s, do you reckon? Let's have a listen. Let's have a listen. Dalvis, how you doing? There was someone else from the Dominican Republic here earlier. What's going on in the Dominican Republic? Yeah, exactly, Yannick. I get Instagram things all the time. I feel like there's so much of it. It's like, it must be a scam. Is this a scam? Oh, because I was saying it sounds really similar, but it's actually because it's the same patch. A couple of times, Sean. I've conducted some real players. I wouldn't say it was like real orchestra. It was kind of a small group ensembles. So when I was working in LA, I was working at a place that was like library music for like production music for trailers and film trailers and stuff like that. And we would write a lot of music and then get in some players, like usually strings and usually we record things separately. So the string players would come in and then the brass might come in later and the choir might come in later. And so I would have to conduct the string section when we were doing the recording sessions. And I hated it. I'm not a really good conductor. I don't know what I'm doing. I would much prefer someone else do it. Old Mr. Hannah, yes. Still need to chat with you about your experience. I would like to compare notes. Not a fan of our Simple Crows. Would be okay to list your name in the intro of the cutscene. So if your film is just film existing outside of YouTube, then that's perfectly fine. Like just put it in the credits as normal. The only problem is that YouTube, you do need to have it in the credit needs to be in the video description, and this is because I'm using my music. My music is put into a system that it's in Content ID, but there's a system sort of controlling this that is looking for credits, and the only way it can find it is in the description of the video, so in the text below the video. So it has to be there, and if the text is there, that means you don't get a claim. So there's no copyright claims and no copyright problems if you have the credit there. So you've got to make sure it is there. And some people find that really kind of frustrating, but it is a kind of a small thing too. I'd hope you understand. But if your film is like on any other platform, so if it's on Facebook or Instagram, or if it's just a short film that you're entering into a film competition or something, then in the credits or in somewhere in the film is perfectly fine. So yeah, so if you have your questions, you can always contact me. I got a contact form on my website, and you can go Ask me all the questions you want. He just talks for hours. I know, Yannick. He hasn't changed, clearly. Violins 2. Violins 2. Sustains. Let's maybe group these somehow. Oh no, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. That's really the question for you. What happens if studio wants to put one of your songs in a blockbuster film? They can. They don't have to pay a cent. They can just put it in there and put the credit in the credits. So that's the thing, is I don't know where my music's being used quite often because of that. You know, so it could be in all sorts of stuff. It does, like, I do get random, like, royalties from various just rando TV stuff, you know, all over Europe, and, you know, just weirdo documentaries and stuff. It's just how it is, really. But yeah, just the nature of giving music away for free is that you just never know where it's gonna happen, where it's gonna pop up. Sustains. Nice. It's a nice patch. Oh. And then I wanted... No, tremolo, I probably don't need another one of those. Buzz. Still find it funny your stuff is all over Australian Survivor. I feel so sad that I didn't watch it anymore. I never watched it, actually. I don't know why I say anymore. I feel ashamed. But that's really cool. I think the Australian Survivor is hosted by one of the... what's that? Oh, I forget the names of everyone, so I'm not going to bother. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to give up. Maybe what I might do... Did I just add that? No, that's all good. More players. So I'm doing this so I can have a bit more control over the actual volume of each of the sections. So this might help a lot in some cases. Mel, how you doing? How's things? Strings of Hearing, like a string section of Sydney Philharmonic Orchestra. Oh, yes. I'll take that. Excuse me. Now, the Sydney Phil is one I have not heard. I haven't heard them play. I've heard the MSO play. You must leave. See you, Jay. Your people need you. Do you bother with any processing on the libraries in general? Not really. In my bigger template, I do have a little bit more EQ on the string section. So my big orchestral template, really big one. Just to kind of bring out the highs a little bit and cut out some of the mids so that it has more room for the brass. But other than that, that's literally all I do. I mean, I've got reverb. I'm using reverb. And this is something I probably should change over to for this one. Usually I'm using spaces too now. And then on the master, I've got a little bit of like gluing compression. But other than that, no. I kind of just use them as is out of the box. And try to make them work. And I usually just kind of avoid patches that don't work for me. So that's what I do. I just don't want to fart around. Like, that's the worst part of music production, is the actual like trying to mix things. I find it's just finding the instruments is the best, easiest way to do it, I think, and then make them work. That's sustains. Viola's sustains. Soft. Viol, this is a really good patch. Nice. That's really good. It's just got a raw edge to it. But it's really hard to find those kinds of nice patches. I gotta remember that. It's a really nice patch. I'm writing for... Oh, wait a sec. So, do you have favorite key signatures? You often gravitate towards composing? Yeah, I kind of do. I think B flat, major or minor, B flat major generally, is probably one of my favorite ones. And G, I tend to do a lot of stuff in those ones. I'm not exactly sure why. It's probably to do with the range of the violins, because you can do... I don't know, because I like a low, like I'm using a lot of the, like the bottom of the violins, which is the G, a low G, as like the open string. It's probably why I gravitate towards G a lot. I know Hans likes D, right? D minor. It's alright. D minor is pretty good. What do I do? Tremolo. I think a tremolo would be good. Violin. No, violas. Tremolo. If it's nice out of the box, why change? Exactly. Why do anything? Otherwise, maybe low cutting some stuff or adding reverb. Yeah, I do tend to like cut out any weird low frequency stuff because I can't hear them. So like but it's usually something I do at the end of production rather than like as part of the template. But yeah, it's because I'm really afraid of mixing something that I can't hear, and so it's not so bad with the highs, I think, but the low frequencies, having some really runaway low frequency sub going off that you didn't really hear, that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a nice trim. How about the harmonics? When writing for AVA, is the animation finished and you score the according to what's happened in the animation, or do you write the music and it's animated around your music? Generally, the first way. So the Alan and his team give me what's called a locked picture. So the actual animation isn't necessarily finished, all the details and stuff, but at least the timings of certain events, or most of the events that are happening, are locked to time, so they won't change much. It does happen. Things do happen and things change, and you have to go back and edit them. But yeah, generally they're giving me what's called a locked picture, and that means I can confidently write music that will sync up with whatever they do. So yeah, and that's pretty common. I mean, there are people out there that like to work the other way, and that's depending on the editor and the director, I guess, the people you're working with. That can be really effective because quite often when you're writing to picture, it can be, particularly if there's a lot of points to hit in the editing, like if there's a lot of stuff that's happening and you need to hit certain hit points, it can be kind of challenging to make the music also like flow cohesively, but also have to hit those points. And so quite often a lot of the music is choppy and changey a lot when I'm writing that for that sort of stuff. Whereas if they chose a piece of mine, or I wrote a piece of music that was one piece that was cohesive, didn't really have anything to hit other than just the vibes that the track needed to do, then they can make all the edits they need around the video, around the music, sorry. And it'll be a very different feeling, I think. I think if you watch a lot of films by Christopher Nolan, I think he does this quite a bit, to be honest, where he'll say, like, tell Hans that I need a piece of music that goes for this and needs to feel like this, and so Hans will go away and write it and give him the piece of music, and then they would edit the footage around that. And it's a different feeling, like it's almost like a music video kind of feeling, you know what I mean? Where the music is kind of a real significant part of the movement of the scene. And it's a different kind of feeling, I think. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Working with some ads recently where I wish they'd have that mentality locked picture, really. Oh man. It's so much of a pain when things change, you must feel this. You must feel that. Sweet dude, I'm doing it right. We're just doing the office hours. I'm pretty good. How are you going? You doing all right? Just want to stop by and say thank you for composing some excellent music. You're very, very welcome. Truly enjoyed listening to your compositions, and I'm grateful for putting them up for you here. Well, thank you for enjoying them. Thank you for listening. It's pretty amazing that people actually care enough to to listen to it. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Makes me happy. It makes it all worthwhile, Otherwise, what are you doing? What's the meaning of life? I mean, I kind of do it anyway, I think, no matter what. Whether you listened or not. Damazes, how you going? It's a nice patch. Nice cellos. Cello sustains. And then these will be, you'll try the soft ones. I think a lot of these patches will replace my I use LCO a lot for this kind of vibe, but this is different. This feels very different, and but doing a similar thing. This is LCO strings from Spitfire. Although LCO is brighter, so it kind of cuts through in a way. But it's also a different vibe, I suppose. We'll keep them both in for now, I think. Yeah, the Peter's Vex ones are definitely far more like warmer. Warmer, definitely. Studfox, how you going? What you doing? I'm building a template, or rebuilding, adding to a template. So we can, I don't know, work quicker in the future, I think. So what are we doing here? That's 2. So I need to add another MIDI. How you doing? Lovely Gentleman piano you heard from earlier in the stream. That piano is a really nice piano. Like, it's given me a lot of mileage. Cellos, tremolo. And then we'll do a bass as well. I already work super quick. Well, I can go quicker. We must go quicker. I'll paint this this template red. That'll probably help, I reckon. Because red things go quicker, right? Everything seems really quiet. It's science, it is, yeah. Nice warm bass. Very quiet. We might add a gain on this. We'll do 12, something like that. Crows are back, yeah. Never really gone. Okay. Guys, I need to go to the loo. I'm gonna be right back. I have no music to play you, so you're just gonna sit in silence for just a couple of minutes. I apologize, but I'll be right back. And look at me, I remembered to actually turn the mute off. So good. Very good. Alright, so now we have a bunch of instruments. I'm going to put this violins one. Yeah. Well, just violins because it's got the twos as well. And then we'll make a new folder. Goes so like this. Move to folder. And we'll call this Peteris Best. And then we'll give it a pink color, I reckon. Oh no, the piano is pink. What do we want? What color haven't we used yet? A purple. I wish there was a way, I imagine there is. I just haven't found it yet, but there must be a way to color code a lot of tracks all at once. You gotta choose the right purple too. There we go. You can't actually see that though. It's off the screen on the stream. I apologize. I'm changing the slight color on the edge of the track. Maybe I can show you. See, there's purples. Purples. And I do this mostly just because it helps me see things quicker. So I know which part of the template I'm in at any given time, because you're scrolling up and down all the time. Kind of lose track of everything. Okay. So I'm going to save this template because I haven't done that. Save as template. Content, core, project, files, and we're saving over the top of this. Done. Updated. That didn't take long. What other pianos do you have besides the Gentleman? So they've got a few. I mean, the Native Instruments ones, there's the Noir and Noir, which is nice. And really fun. It's got some really cool, interesting tools in it to make it like delays and effects and stuff. I use that a lot for really interesting piano stuff. There's the Giant. I rarely use that though. Just kind of just like weird, if I load it up, like weird sort of, supposed to be like a cinematic piano. Oh my god, what's going on? Look at that. Does this piano actually exist? I don't think it does. It's just a weird piano. But I don't use it. I haven't really found a way to incorporate it into my projects. So, but it's there. And then I got some sort of older pianos, like as part of like the Gentleman. There's like the Grandeur and the Maverick. Grandeur is like a classical style piano, and the Maverick's more like a studio grand. I've used the Maverick quite a bit, but actually these days I tend to use stuff from Cinesamples now. Which is I think this is studio. It's the studio piano, I think it is. Yeah, there's a good stuff in studio piano. There's also like if I go pianos, are there pianos? There's some good pianos. So Piano in Blue is really nice. It's kind of like this sort of very mellow studio grand. I've used on a few things as well, very jazzy. So yeah, I've got a few pianos that I use. I don't have a ton, like an absolute ton. I think East West has a few, but I've never really used them as part of, like they're a part of the Composer Cloud, but I haven't actually done much, to be honest. Ed Baldwin approves. If I was given a chance to score a legacy series like Star Trek, how would you go about it? Oh gosh, I don't know. That'd be a real challenge, Revenant. I'd feel very the high pressure. Be a high pressure scenario, I think. Like seeing what folks have done, like Michael Giacchino It's done for Star Trek, like the new reboot. I mean, amazing scores that he came up with for that. And it feels new, but also feels like a homage as well. I mean, you've got to think about that, right? You got to sort of somehow not make it so new that people just like completely screw their nose up at it and doesn't feel like the universe. But it really depends on how the series is going. Like whatever thing you're doing, like how they're rebooting it, I guess, really will shape how you decide on how it should sound as well. Because it's all about, it's the whole package, right? When you're scoring a pick like something like that, it's the whole thing. You know, it's not just the music has to do something, but it's the, you know, how the whole direction is going. It's really important to know. Do I have a real acoustic piano? Not with me. So I have a piano coming to me. So my parents have an old upright piano, which is actually, it's a pianola. So if you don't know what a pianola is, it's like one of those old mechanical pianos where you could put the scroll in and it would play music for you. Fortunately, that actual mechanism doesn't work anymore, but it's a lovely piano. It's the piano I grew up on, like learning how to play. It's a weird piano too, in mostly that the action on it, you know, when you play a normal piano, it would have like a reasonably heavy action, whereas this piano is super light and like I don't know why. It's just a really really light piano. But I will get that. But it's one of those things where it's like I could probably arrange to get it moved because they don't really use it anymore. But I don't want to tread on toes at this point. So I just want to I may just have to wait 10 years or something until the time is right, if you know what I mean. But they want me to have it. Like they want me to have the piano, but it's kind of like I don't want to take it too soon because it's such a part of their house too. Really important. So no, I don't really have a piano here. So I'm stuck with keyboards. It's also like we also don't have a great place to put it if we'd get it. It's actually quite a big piano for an upright. Definitely a chunky monkey. What's the date today? June. We're in June. Holy moly. How did I do this? June 2. June 2. You're bad at ear training, using AI to find notes for you. How good is AI at doing that, by the way? I don't know. What kind of AI would you use to listen to stuff like that? I have no idea. Ian had a piano like that. We used to put Chariots of Fire and scroll all the time. Nice. Very nice. They still have the scrolls. So there's like a cupboard in their spare bedroom that's just full of all the old scrolls that they had. I'd like to do something with them. I don't know, like, because they're kind of useless. Like they're worthless. No one buys them anymore. No one wants them. But it'd be kind of cool to try and make some sort of, I don't know, some sort of artwork out of it. I don't know what I'd do to it, but you know, be kind of interesting. Yeah, can't wait to hear compositions. Yeah, it'd be kind of fun to try and, you know, incorporate having that piano into my work, record, like set it up, you know, with you can take the front off it, so it's got all the, you know, the strings are readily available. You can mic it up nicely. I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do. How are we ordering through halfway through 2025? I know, right? Very scary. I swear there is time dilation happening. And we probably should be doing research into this. So I think something's happening. Something's going wrong with the universe. Neural note. Okay. Gives you a good idea there. Okay. It's not good at all. It'll get better. That's the problem with AI. It gets better at everything. How do you approach arranging pre-existing music? How are you able to arrange the music for your needs while still keeping the spirit of the piece? It's a really good question. Trying to think what my most recent experience has been. It was so I did a lot of I did an album of Zelda arrangements. So Legend of Zelda, all the games, and like trying to sort of reimagine it for, you know, a more orchestral sort of vibe. At least a lot of the earlier ones. A lot of early music is very blip bloopy, kind of 8-bit kind of sounds. It's a challenge, right? Yeah. It's like the way I would go about doing those ones, at least, is that like I would try my best to maintain, like, definitely maintain melodies, don't change them. And being really mindful of the energy that the original work has. So if I'm trying to think of an example, like say the Legend of Zelda, like the Zelda's Lullaby from what's the Ocarina of Time. It's a lullaby, right? It's soft and it's, you know, it's very sweet. And my arrangement for that was maintaining that sweetness, but I sort of turning it into more of like a, I don't know, a more sweeping version of that. But it's embracing that idea that it's still a quiet, soft work, you know, and I don't know. It's just trying to maintain energy, maintain melody, so that it's identifiable as what it is. But I feel like where you can make your own imprint on it is like you can work around with interesting new chord progressions if it still works to support the melody. Because a lot of this time that like for those Zelda tracks, the melody is the rather core part of what makes them so memorable. And so I felt like there was a lot of room to play around with harmonic structure a bit, but maintaining the melody over the top. And that's where the fun comes, I think. But yeah, it is a challenge. Yeah, it really depends on what you're doing. Does soul science include looking for time dilation? Yeah, I don't see why not. There is a subset of soil science called soil physics. So it's all about, you know, how, you know, physics applies to soil environments. And, you know, maybe time dilation's a thing there too. I don't know. Maybe. But it's mostly to do with like soil water pressure and things like that. It's a bit boring. Soil physics is a little boring, I think. Spaghetti, how you doing? Can you say hi, Galactot? Hi, Galactot. I don't know what that means. Okay, so we've sort of done a template now, so maybe we can try to write something? Might try and work with these, the Pederast Vesks library, I think. See where we can go. What was the template we worked for? Is mostly just to bring my chamber string template a little bit up to scratch and add a few instruments. So it wasn't a great deal of work, proximate. And it's not for anything. It's just it's a template I use a lot for, like, more my more my soft sort of strings, pianos kind of vibes that I often do. And so I just wanted to make sure it was all up to date. There's a few old instances of Contact that I wanted to change over to the more to Contact 6 at least. And then I added some of the Pederast Vesks library, which is this library I bought a couple of months ago from Orchestral Tools. And I just wanted to make sure it was, added so I can actually use it, because I feel like I'm not using it enough. So You had to go from 6 to 8. Yeah, annoying wasn't automatic. How's the experience though? Because I'm thinking I want to update to the new complete to get. There's a few libraries in there too that I would like, but I guess coming with Contact 8, I'm a little worried. A lot of people have complained about Contact and the new iterations of it, so I'm a little worried. Yeah, you can, yeah, which I've noticed too. Hey Lincoln, how you doing? No, a different track today. So we're working on a template, and we're probably going to try and make something a bit more like, I don't know, soft, emotional strings, I reckon. I'll make a composition out of piano roll, turning piano solo music into piano concerto. Nice. Don't like Contact 8 feels chunky with all the new stuff added. No. Oh. It was long overdue for a visual redo, but the obnoxious. It's obnoxious to go back to the classic view to use the stuff like quick load. They're pushing it to the library search screen. That works. Okay, I guess. I don't know, man. Me, I just don't like anything changing. Alright, so what do I want to do here? What do I want to do? Okay. Okay, we'll figure out what happens next, I think, but we'll work with this. Whoops, I just made the mouse go real quick. There's like a button on top of my mouse that if I hit it, it changes how quick the mouse goes around the screen. It's very weird. Very weird. First the Caribbean. Do you think it sounds a bit Pirates to you? We'll see where it goes, huh? Make it. Whoop. At the end of the phrase, I really wanted to feel like it falls away to nothing and then comes back up again. Yeah, Proxen. I think it's one of the things I would love as part of the complete stuff is Ashlight. I don't have Ashlight, and I use Straylight all the time. I don't use Firelight as much, but Straylight I use all the time, and I imagine Ashlight would be very much in my wheelhouse. Hey, Manny. So yeah, so that's one thing that I think I would use all the time if I was given the chance. Hey Bernia, how you doing? Always wait until it's half off. Yeah, absolutely. You never pay full price. Might try. Yeah, Amanda's making tea. It's alright. Don't panic, everyone. Yeah, sure. Oh, that's kind of cool. So this is the solo, like the first chair stuff from the Peter stuff. It's kind of cool. This is Sol Tasso.
What if I clicky click?
Oh, yeah, okay. That should be fine. That's pretty. It's nice. It's a nice violin. Very moody. Pencil, how you doing?
I'm so not going to interrupt this Zen vibe you've got.
Thank you. Thank you. Animation versus depression. Or not wrong though. Okay, so we kind of got a vibe for this first session going. That's cool. So something happens here. I kind of like this essentially chordal ostinato that we got going, so we might keep that going. So far got a bit of a like a Max Richter vibe, I reckon. That's what we're hitting at the moment. know what I'm doing there. I'll figure it out. These are Petters Fest strings. So these are the ones I'm particularly playing right now are viola soft sustains. Really pretty. Like they're really nice, really warm. They have like a kind of a gritty edge to them. It's like it feels a little bit closer mic'd. There's kind of something going on there. I like them. They're a vibe. Tape effect? There's no tape effect. So you may want to reload if that's what you're hearing. It's pretty much just soft sustains, really. It might be a weird glitch. No warble. I think that could be. That sounds like Twitch encoding. So sometimes refreshing the browser might help. Doesn't do well. The whole Twitch encoding stuff doesn't do well with music sometimes. Stop. Got too many like pedal sustains going on, so notes are getting stuck all the time. Okay, so we'll slowly bring the cellos in around here, I reckon. next section. Here. That'll do. That'll do for now. Okay, so let's play with this violin a little bit more. Some of that's alright, some of it's not so great. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, calm and relaxing, that's what we're going for. How did I get in composing for indoors? That's a good question. I think it was probably when I was learning piano in my teenage years. My piano teacher that I had at the time was they owned a company. How do I explain it? A company that sold music software to schools. So that was their main thing. So the idea is they were selling like programs like Sibelius, which is like a notation program, but also like a lot of computer tech and music software and hardware related to like music production as well, to schools for high schools and even primary schools to teach their kids how to use it. And so I got into using that stuff through her actually. So she was she sort of introduced me to Cakewalk, which is what I'm using now. At the time it was called Pro Audio. I forget what version 5 or 4 or something. And she ended up getting a tiny little MIDI keyboard for home, and started playing around with that at home. And it sort of snowballed from there, really. I found it really fun, found it really engaging. At the time as well, I was really starting to get into like soundtracks for films. I was absolutely obsessed with Star Wars at the time. And I just started kind of making music and copying music, pulling music apart and finding MIDI files on the internet of my favorite TV and film themes and playing around with MIDI files that way. And started just tooling around, and just never stopped, saved up. I actually ended up working for her quite a lot over my life actually, at various points, but I did some part-time work with her and her company, and I saved up money to buy my first big library, which was the Edirol Orchestral Self Synth, and I ended up using that for so many years, learning how to essentially write music, how to write orchestral music. But particularly writing music in a DAW, that was how I really got into it. That's what really sparked my interest. I could have learnt, notation. I was well versed at the time on how to, read and sight read and how to write notes, and it wasn't anything that was like a barrier to me. But I just felt at home using Cakewalk, and so here we are, however many years later, 20 something, 25 years. Even more than that now, 30 years. 30 years. Yeah, I haven't stopped. Yeah, Edirol, classic. Such a good library, guys. Like, if they could make something like that now, it sounded better, I guess. It was pretty good. I reckon Edirol sounded pretty good at the time. It had a lot of legs. But it was the thing that made it really great in comparison to, say, like at the time, everyone was using the East-West libraries, the Symphonic Orchestra and the Vienna Orchestra, Vienna Symphonic Libraries, whatever it was, VSL. The thing that made Edirol really great was that it was tiny. It was tiny. It was like 200 megabytes, something like that. Maybe more than that. But in comparison to like the many gigabytes of stuff that you had to download and have space for at that time, which space was a premium, particularly for people on my budget. Yeah, the Edirol was amazing. I don't know how they did it. I guess it was highly compressed, and I think a lot of it was actually synth sounds, perhaps like synth modeling, because I don't think a lot of it was actually samples, if you know what I mean. I think some of it was, definitely some of it was, but not all of it. And I don't know how they did it, but it was such a good library. Yeah. Anyway, so that's how I did it. That's how I got into it. It's through my piano teacher, pretty much. It got me addicted. composer for Plants vs Zombies use Editor. Really? That's nice. That's cool. That makes me happy. Bonjour, bonjour. Opus is 944 gigabytes. I don't know. Yeah, I think it can not download everything. Yeah, I think you can just download what you need, Enderblade, if I remember correctly. Like in terms of mic positions. To be honest, I forget. I really got annoyed. I did a sort of I thought was going to be an upgrade to get a certain like different libraries in the East-West package, and what it also upgraded was the access to which Hollywood orchestra I had access to. I actually really liked the Lobby one, like the middle, like the 16-bit version of the library, because it's smaller and no one knows, man. No one knows the difference between 24-bit and 16-bit. The gold versus diamond, exactly. No one knows. Like it's just extra space that I didn't feel like I needed, and I was really annoyed that I had to change over. Yeah, it's one of those frustrating things. It's like everyone thinks that they, like, I don't know. To me, like, I was doing fine with the gold version. It was fine. I was able to do everything I needed to do. No one complained. Quality I felt was fine. But you know. Yeah. Had the gold and was annoyed there was wasn't a good upgrade path to Opus. Even now, I have Opus via Fantasy Strings, right? And you have all the East West libraries you got in years and years ago, except for the Hollywood Orchestra Gold. Yeah, it is weird. It's weird and frustrating, that system. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder whether I should just buy the things that I use and just like get rid of Composer Cloud. Then I don't have to worry about this whatever mess I've got of because I ended up having to buy, because I have projects that still use gold that I want to access, which I need to work on, like old projects that I need to render out in terms of stems. But I had to buy an extra license of Composer Cloud. That's like an additional license to get access to those, to get access to the gold. So it's like, that's a bit of a mess at the moment. Bit of a mess. Weird thing going on there. Let's just cut that. Have Bonjour, yeah. So I do a lot of work for animation, and I'm also working on 2 games at the moment. One's called Falling Frontier, which is like a space sci-fi strategy sim, fighting around spaceships and stuff. And then the other one is called Menace, which is another sci-fi one, but more of like a squad tactical sort of situation, tactical game. Not more strategy, but like a different approach. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with those at the moment. Hey, Eamon, how you doing? Nice to meet you. What am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm doing alright. I think I'm doing alright. We're chilling out today. Making some very calming string music. Okay. I don't know where we're going. How does your idea for a composition usually come? Is it spontaneous? It is. I like that, yeah. So I do start works with an idea in mind, like in terms of how I want it to feel, or like general sort of direction it wants to go. But in terms of like actually what the notes will be, it's very spontaneous, yeah. It's me. So a lot of my style is of writing. It's very improvisational. Let's say that. So it's a lot of me trying things out and seeing if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll just change tack. And it's a lot of like just playing around. As I said, I have this idea in mind, like this overarching, feeling I want to feel, or want the track to feel, but not necessarily like a melody in my head or anything. Or any chord progression. Yeah, so I don't know. It's I know a lot of people work this way, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. But it's worth a try. I mean, it's something that I've been playing. Like I guess I'm a very like a good listener in terms of like listening to music. I can hear things as they play, as they develop. And so it's easier for me to sort of piece together a work because of that, because I can hear other things as it goes on, and like it gives me ideas, and it sort of sparks new directions for the track. But not everyone has that, has that sort of in ready to go. But I think it's it's the way I work, I guess. It's something I'm still trying to figure out how I do it. It's like every time someone asks me, it's like, I don't know, how do I write music? It's something that I'm trying my best to sort of reflect on that a bit, because it's good to know these things, how you work, and why the things you do work, and why some things don't. Hey Cray, yeah, you can use my music in your video. All you have to do is put the credit in the video description, and you're good. You shouldn't get any copyright claims. Okay, so the credit has to say my name. Just has to say Scott Buckley somewhere. and then you should be good. You should be good. Every piece tells a story. What story do you have in mind while composing this track? I don't know. This one, I don't know. It sparked. I think I was actually listening. I was on my run this morning. I was listening to some work. I forget the artist, but it was the title of the track was like "Walk Without a Trace," and it's like the idea of like, I don't know. It was a very different track to this, but the idea of "Leave No Trace," like this the sort of the idea that came to me. It's like leave no trace of this, like, I don't know. It's like the very philosophical ideas of like how we should live on this planet, leaving no trace, and the fragility of something. I don't know, but the feelings that came from that, it's like something that's very delicate and kind of bittersweet, sort of came out of that idea, I guess. So it's like really tiny little things like that. It's enough for me to go, hey, there's an idea. It sparks like something in my head. And sort of running along with that. It's crazy. It's crazy how little things can actually just like get you going. But I mean, I do like a lot of seeing a lot of stories, and I like watching films and TV, and we go to a lot of performances to get, lots of inspiration from the world around us. Got hit with a claim. Sorry, Big Red. Have a clear off soon. Of course, think did all the instructions you said, but I hadn't slept in 20 hours when I submitted it back. Okay. Oh, don't worry, mate. We'll figure it out. Do you know who the claimant is? Maybe it's best if you try and get in contact with me. Because the claim forms don't go to me. They go to my copyright, like my content ID team at Frequency Music. So I don't see them. But if you can send me a link to the video, maybe I can have a quick look in the system after the stream and see if I can help you out. See you, Jake. And thank you for the $10, by the way, Big Red. My gosh. Thank you. Makes you want to cry. What music can make you happy and energized? I don't know. Choose anything pop music related, right? That's all about high energy. Here we're all about the bittersweet vibes. That's awesome, Big Red. And it's awesome as well, Design World. I'm so glad it's working out. Really good. Stuck notes. What is this middle section gonna do? Pop? That's a really good question, Sean. I don't know. I feel like I don't listen to enough modern pop these days. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. Okay. That's a vibe. Thank you, Indian. What's that? What's the name? I forget her first name. Carpenter? What's her name? Carpenter. There's like I feel like such an old person. Sabrina Carpenter. All the music I've heard of hers so far is really good. Like great production, cool writing. I think I like her stuff a lot. How do I go in there? Hey, Lion King. Filaments is a brilliant, inspiring, powerful composition. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matt. We're all old people now. Oh no, oh no. Feeling it every day. All right, guys. I think because it is after midday now, I am going to go have some lunch. I'm really hungry. My belly demands sustenance. So I'm going to go. But thank you for hanging out today, guys. We've done a lot of work today. We've fixed a template. We've added a few things to it. And we've actually started something. And it's really pretty. Very simple, but very moody. I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you, Underblade. I'll catch you. So I probably won't be on again this week, but I'll see you next Monday. Same time, same channel. Have a good week. Don't do anything crazy. Okay? Go listen to Spot, get out of depression. Very good. You can do it, Sean. Alright, guys. Thanks so much. I will catch you next week. Goodbye. Bye-bye.